Hello, my lovelies, my Shaylas. Gather around, gather around. You're gonna need a snack for this one. Yeah, get you a snack, get you a drink, get you some hydration because you're gonna need it. I have my water here because I am definitely gonna get parched because this is gonna be a very yappy, chatty video. It is December 31st, so it's New Year's Eve in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and it is 8:15 p.m. Actually 8:16. And I was like, let me do a reflection of 2025 and share it with you guys. So what that means is I'm going to record this, do a quick little edit, and drop it. The perfectionist that I am is quivering, but also I am quite the rambler. Okay, I ramble a lot. Ask my friends; they get blessed with 30-minute voice notes. Okay, but anyways, I'm gonna do a little reflection. I have my phone here with me. I just jotted down a few like talking points, but the meat of the talking is gonna be off the dome. All the best to us. Um, but yeah, let's get into it. So I plan on doing it like, let me talk about work, let me talk about personal life. Under work, I'll talk about the highs and then the lows, and then we'll do the same for personal. Okay, cool. So work, work was interesting this year. Work was interesting. The highs, I definitely have to say, I think one of the first, and this was towards the beginning of the year, is me being commissioned by CBC to do a photo exhibit for them. I did a series of photos for them where I got to photograph 8 people and sort of help in telling the story of like how people experience conflict and come back from it. And that was amazing. If you don't know what CBC is, because I think most of my lovelies here are US based and also on the continent in Africa. So CBC is just like, ABC, NBC. It's the network, it's the broadcasting corporation of the country. And so that was a big deal for me. I had such an amazing time doing that. And it really helped to show one of my superpowers, which is making people comfortable in front of my camera. Because if somebody's comfortable, like they are easy to photograph. The personality comes out, the truth of who they are comes out, and that experience definitely helped me to further like appreciate and grow that superpower of mine. I signed my biggest contract yet with a brand called Specsavers, and I signed with them for a year. And that was amazing. When I saw that number, I said, "Screw." So that was a really amazing thing that I got to experience at the beginning of the year, and also because I had worked with them last year, that meant that like it was a good partnership that then moved over into this year, and then ended up signing with them for the whole year. So that was a really great opportunity that I loved. I also had some return clients that came back that I worked with in the past. So that also, feels good to the heart because then it feels like those brands trust you and they know that you're going to deliver great work. So obviously, make me feel good. I was also honored with an award this year in my city for being a trailblazer in the fashion and creative space. And yeah, that was a really nice experience. I got to sort of sit with other honorees and got to give a speech at an event, and that was a really cool experience. It's one of those things that like sometimes when you doubt yourself and you have something like that to kind of remind you that, like, no, babes, you've been doing the work. And so that was a nice reminder of, my contributions to the city. Honorable mention, um, on social media, I got to show more of my personality this year. And that's something that I've always struggled with. As one of the OG like content creators, I've been creating content since 2010. I had a blog, and I was sharing like, my life in Halifax and all that stuff. And um, we came in that era of photos. It was just photos, and you could, you'd write, your little write up and whatever. But when Instagram came through, and then we were just strictly photos for a very long time, it made it harder to show personality and like who you are. And then when video became king, it was like, okay, so I can show more of my personality, but are people gonna be like, oh, is there a comedian all of a sudden? You know what I mean? Like, so I kind of struggled with that for a while, and over the years, I've had friends talk to me about that, being like, yo, like, how come, like, people don't really know you? Like, you're funny as hell, and you're goofy. Like, show that goofy self. So it's been nice being able to find little pockets within my content to show more of that. And I hope to do more in the new year. Let's see. Another honorable mention, returning to YouTube. This was my 37th attempt at YouTube. But this time something clicked. Something clicked, and I think the Small City Big Life series, thanks to my best friend Kelly, because she's the one that came up with that title. And it wasn't even like we were brainstorming titles or anything. It's just we were talking, and I was kind of just sharing about how like I've sort of struggled on YouTube and all that stuff, and feeling like I can't stack up to the girlies because they're in bigger cities and there's events and all that stuff and so much happening, and sort of not as much happening in my city. And she was like, yeah, but like you live in a small city, yes, but like you have a big life. And I was like, ah. And that's how Small City Big Life became a thing. So yeah, that was an honorable mention. Also, I'm going to add to, let's see, the photo exhibit that I did early on in the year. I'm going to add something else to that. It was another photo thing that I did, but a girl flew to my city so that I could photograph her. What? I'm still recovering from that. But yeah, to have someone kind of put money behind, put time behind, and being like, no, I'm flying to you. I want you to photograph me in the style that you did your exhibit in. I'm like, okay. So that was a moment for me. So that's another high. Let's get to the lows. Cause honey, the lows rocked me. Okay. One of the lows was grieving the loss of momentum from my first solo photo exhibit. So I had a solo exhibit at the end of 2024, and I sort of worked towards it for months, and was really excited about it. And after it was done, and then sort of going into the new year, whew, the momentum just, wow, I can whistle. Sorry. The momentum just like dwindled. And there was sort of two main reasons why I felt my momentum dwindle. The first being exhaustion. Like I was exhausted after the exhibit happened. When you've been working towards something so much and putting all your mental load and physical and everything like that into it, and then when it's done, that moment to kind of take a breath, I was like, my God, am I exhausted? So that was one of the reasons why it's almost like this big thing happened, and then I almost kind of stepped away from it for a little bit. But then it ended up not being a little bit. Um, and the second thing that I think was also a factor in the momentum dropping was a friend of mine lost her mom a couple of weeks after my exhibit. And um, her mom and my mom were visiting, just happened to be visiting at the same time. And um, her loss rocked me in a way that I wasn't anticipating. And I think also because she was at my exhibit and she was so supportive and just so lovely. That affected me more than I could have ever imagined. And I don't even know if I've ever told her this. Yeah, I'm going to have to tell her this. But yeah, that it made it hard for me to kind of go back into seeing the footage of everything. And because I had plans of like, oh, I'm going to show like the behind the scenes of like how everything came about, and I'm going to show the night of the exhibit and all that stuff. And it brought grief up for me with my own losses. And I just feel like I didn't quite get my energy back when it comes to the momentum of that exhibit. So I didn't do anything this year in terms of like doing something that was strictly me and showing that with people. Another low was, oh my God, falling out of love with creating content. That has been a massive one for me this year. Um, like I said, I've been doing this since 2010, and I've seen sort of I've been there since the beginning of like this was just we were doing blogs and it was just hobbies, to like, oh, we started getting gifts, to oh, there's now money in it, to oh, I can actually make this full time. Like, so I've been through that sort of life cycle of content creating, and then the word influencer coming and being a thing. And I think I have adapted quite well in terms of how we've gone from photo to video. And I'm a forever learner. I love to learn. I love to learn about editing and photography and videography and all that stuff and filmmaking. And so I've adapted. But it's been hard to kind of be that person that's confident in your craft, and then also feeling like you will never be palatable to the masses because of how you look, the body that you inhabit, the skin that you so love and you can never change, and it's who you are. Those things not being palatable to the masses, those things not being favorable, that eats at a girl. And it has taken away the joy of creating, because you want to create and you want to see that return, especially if you know this is your job, right? You want to see that return from brands and from and campaigns and all that stuff. And it's a different landscape. It's a different landscape. And I've often felt like there is a certain aesthetic that is favored, and I just don't inhabit that aesthetic, be it physically, but also just even in my home, like, you know, being an eclectic girly, and with the way I dress as well, being a little bit, you know, different when it comes to like the plus girlies. And yeah, it has slowly taken away the joy of creating. And then also just with how the platforms have been, which I, to some extent, I do understand that from a business perspective, like business is business. But can we go back to the days where you would post something and like your followers would see it? Can we go back to those days? I miss those days. Because now you post something and you're lucky if 10% of your followers see it. Lucky. I miss those days where people would see it. Um, so it kind of, so it takes away the joy, but I think one of the things that has helped me um, this year is coming back to YouTube. Like that has really awakened something in me. Particularly, I think my approach this time around was that I was creating content that I was craving. And so I would just hope that maybe there's somebody out there who's also craving what I'm craving. And I wanted to kind of have comfort watches. I wanted to have like slow living. I wanted to have like intentional living. And um, I was craving that slowness. I was craving that ease of just like, I didn't want to be too overstimulated. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to create what I'm yearning for. And maybe there are other people out there that are yearning for the same thing. And look at y'all over here vibing with me because you get the vibes. You get the vibes. And I love that for us. Yeah, so those are the lows apparently of work. Let's get into personal life. Let's talk about the highs. Okay. The first high, honestly, has been this home. This home has been such a joy to pour into. All the things I have done in this place to make it my own. This is my second year living here. And everything that I've done, everything that I've bought, everything that I've moved around 100 times just to, get a new feel. Everything has just been so lovely. This home has protected me. It has comforted me. It has cradled me in times when, especially just how the world is right now and the chaos that is out there, I have felt safe. I have felt secure. I have felt comfortable. I have felt at peace in my home. And that is absolutely a high that I am celebrating. The times and experiences I have had with family and friends this year. I've had some good ones. I went to Mexico City with my best friend Kelly for 3 weeks. Life-changing 3 weeks. Like, we talked a lot. We journaled. We just were being. We were there. We were just being. The privilege to do that, like, I do not take that for granted, that I was able to do that for 3 weeks, just to like turn off my alarm and be like, won't let my body wake up when it wakes up. Um, that was a life-changing trip for me, for both of us actually. And I, uh, there's so much to share about Mexico City. Actually, there's a whole vlog series coming up out of Mexico City, so look out for that. Um, 3 weeks is a lot of content. Okay, so it's been a lot, but look out for that. I also went home to South Africa and spent some time with mom and my brother. So the three amigos were together. And then I also went to Zimbabwe and got to see family there and friends, and also got to celebrate friends that were getting married. So that was the main reason that we went to Zim. So yeah, I also got to see my mom again in November and got to celebrate a milestone birthday for her. And my brother was able to come through as well. And so, again, being able to be with my mom and my brother twice this year, loved that. My other best friend, Asa, came to visit in October. And um, that trip was like much needed. I missed her so much, and because I hadn't seen her in like a year, and it was the best like long weekend that I could have ever asked for. Like it was perfection. Had so much fun, and besides those like sort of bigger moments that I had, I also just had like some really great like hangs and memories with friends and family. Um, Guys, my friends be holding me down. And this year I definitely have felt that. And I'm so happy about all the conversations that we've had have been so enriching. And I would not give that up for anything. Nada. Another high, my hot girl walks. Okay, so the people that really, really know about the hot girl walks are the people on my Instagram stories because that's where I share them when they happen. Uh, but when I was in Mexico City, decided to start walking. And one day led to another, and another. And then now I'm ending the year, I think I'm on day 168 of doing hot girl walks. And that has been doing a long walk, which is almost always 5Ks. But there's some days where it's like, oh, I ain't got it, and it ends up being like 3 kilometers or like 4, sometimes even 2. But those, for the most part, it was always 5 kilometers. And then, through life, throughout the day, I would always do my 10K steps and, be done. So that was a massive, massive personal high for me. And those walks became like needed. Like they were in my system. They are in my system. So like right now where it's cold in winter, I'm struggling to walk longer because it's just so depressing out there. But I'm going to try my hardest because they were so healing and so clearing of my mind. They kept me from crashing out, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay, so those were my highs. Let's go to the lows, okay? Dating. I have been intentionally dating for the past 2 years. And wow. Yeah, as of now, I have no desire to continue that journey in 2026. Time will tell. Another low. Okay, this one's a heavy one. I experienced having trouble trying to imagine and hold on to the vision of my life that I'm still learning to want. How that makes sense. Because like I know I I want a certain life, and sometimes the world might make it seem as if like, oh, that's too much of a want. So like I'm still learning to want it and just like sit in it and believe it and know that like I deserve having that life. But like holding on to that vision of like that life has been so hard for me this year. And I think definitely has to do with like, the state of the world and how things are and life being tougher, the economy is not great. People are dying, Kim. People are dying. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. There's also a part of me that like genuinely feels like 2026 is going to be a transformative year for me. And I'm looking forward to experiencing that. I'm looking forward to trying to really hold on to that vision of what I want my life to be and being unshakable in that vision. Um, Another low. This is also a toughie. This year has also been the loneliest that I've felt in a very long time. Especially the last half of the year. Yeah. Uh, that rocked me. That absolutely shook me to my core. Um, I've yearned for companionship this year and have been vulnerable in those situations and expressing, that yearning, right? And imagine putting yourself in that situation and sort of being vulnerable and being like, no, this is what I want. I would like this. And then still being in a space where like I also love doing shit by myself. Like I've always been that girl. Like I can go to the movies right now. That means nothing to me by myself. Like I can do anything by myself because I do love my company. But I wanted someone to do those things with. A man specifically, because my friends already do all that stuff with me. But I did feel the loneliest I've felt. And in that moment where I was feeling so lonely, the universe was like, oh, let me sprinkle a little bit more in there for you. Let me test one of your strongest friendships. Okay? Let me test it for you. See if it can. I was not sleeping for months. I was barely sleeping. It would I could fall asleep and the second I wake up and my brain just connects, oh, it's over. So I was having a really tough time sleeping. Shout out to all the edibles that helped the girl out because mama needed them, okay? Um, but I also, in that season of loneliness, I also went through a really trying time with one of my core friendships. It felt even bigger. Like the loneliness felt even bigger because I think there was a hope that like that core friendship would also uphold me in those moments, and it wasn't there at that time. So it was a trying time. It really was. It was a trying time, but we're bouncing back. We're bouncing back. Oh, another low. Okay, this is the last one. The last low. The burnout. I cannot lie to you. Like I have nothing in my tank right now. I'm rolling on fumes. This year, my soul is exhausted. If that's a thing, that's what's happening. My soul is exhausted. And I don't know where it's gonna bounce back. I have no idea. And because I'm in that space, I don't have it in me to like do the whole thing that I do when I'm ending a year and going to a new one. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this. It's called the Yearly Compass. It's like this 20 something page journal, I guess we can call it, that you go through, and it's got prompts and questions and all that stuff. And so the idea is like sort of the first half helps you reflect on the past year, and then the second half is like helping you plan out the new year. Mama ain't got it. I I don't got it. I don't have the capacity. I don't have the capacity to sit down and do that. I'm worn out. I I have nothing to say to the yearly compass. And I just, yeah, I don't got it. I don't got it. Um, what I do have though is I have three thoughts that I wanted to share with you guys that are the things that are holding me together, the things that are keeping me from crumbling right now. And hopefully, if somebody out there as well is feeling like they're hanging on by a thread, firstly, we're together. And secondly, I hope that it's my camera just shutting off. Rude. But yeah, I was talking about the three things that are keeping me together. Okay. Um, the first one, oh, I love this one. Um, Truly understanding that the loves of my life are the women in my life. I will fight a baby for the bitches. Okay? The girls in my life, the way they love up on me, the way that they support me, the way that they hype me up, the way that they remind me of who I am, the way that they also check me when I'm bugging, and the laughs that we have, the way that they romance me, okay? Yeah, those are the loves of my life. Those are my soulmates. Yeah. The second thing, even at my lowest, and I have forgotten it or I don't believe it, the truth is I am that girl. I am talented. I am lovable. I am worthy. I am powerful. I am funny. Okay? Funny. I'm cute. All those things are just coursing through my veins without me lifting a finger. Like they're coursing through my veins and just waiting for me to tap back in whenever I'm ready. Because things might happen in the world and that will shake me and, maybe try and deter me off my path. But the path is still there. The realities are still there. The realities of who I am, those are still there. And they're just waiting for me to tap back in whenever I'm ready to. And that's something that, yeah, ain't nobody taking that away from me. No, no, that's not happening. Um, Number three. Oh, this was a nice one. Ooh. Okay, so remember earlier I was talking about how I genuinely feel like this year is going to, 2026 is going to be a transformative year for me. That's going to take me stepping out of my comfort zone, which I'm going to do. And when you think about stepping out of your comfort zone, like that, the idea of failure comes up a lot, right? Because you're like, oh, I'm gonna fail. What if I fail? What if I fail? But like, if I enter different comfort zones, if I jump out of my comfort zone and enter something new and shift the focus from success to just experiencing, then that makes failure not real, right? Because then I'm just there for the experiences. I'm just here to get new skills. I am here to meet new people, to make new connections. I am here to learn and dive deeper into who I am. So, whatever it is that I put my hand towards, it's just experiences. Yeah. So I'm learning, I'm talking to myself every day to just shift that focus from success to just experiencing and being in the moment and just being open. Love it. Yeah. So I hope that speaks to somebody out there. I hope it does. Um, what I really want for that feeling of just like being tapped into the experiences and that being the goal, I want that to be so deep in my veins that like, regardless of whatever the outcome is, I'm like rooted in, I'm just here for the experiences. I'm here for the newness, for the new challenges, all of that stuff. So that is the goal. Is it a goal? I don't know, but it's keeping me together right now, okay? um, so yeah, with that said, even though earlier I said, I don't have the capacity to do the whole yearly compass, which is true. However, I actually do have a word for 2026. And that word is open. I'm open. Take me as I am. Okay, I'm open. I'm open to the experiences. I'm open to the newness. I'm open to the challenges. I'm open to figuring out how good it can get. I'm open to whatever 2026 is going to throw my way. I'm open. I'm going to sit in it. I'm going to feel the feels, whatever it is. I'm open. Yeah, I'm open. My wish for you for 2026 is that you keep finding new pockets of who you are and you keep digging deeper and deeper into learning the depths of who you are and what you're capable of. I do hope that 2026 brings you peace and ease and love in everything that you do. May all that you're wishing for and more come to pass in 2026, and may you just sit in the experiences. There's no failure. Let's just sit in the experiences, in the learning, in the figuring it out. And let's enjoy that journey. Thank you guys for rocking with your girl in the last 10 to 12 weeks. It's been an absolute pleasure being back on YouTube. And you have done something for me that I probably could never really quantify. But you brought back a love that I was losing. And I'm sure there'll still be moments where I feel like I've lost that love of creating, but you have helped to bring that back because y'all are vibing with your girl, and I appreciate that so much. Um, I look forward to 2026 with you guys, and I will see you guys in the comment section. Share whatever you're comfortable sharing with me, and I will get to know you more in the comments. Okay. Love you. Mean it.